Would you believe that a manta ray can weigh more than a standard car? Well, these beautiful cartilaginous fish can grow to be quite large, sometimes up to 7 meters in width and about 4,000 pounds. They also possess the largest brain of any fish, allowing them to be very intelligent. Manta rays and their smaller, more elusive sister genus, the devil rays, make up a family known as family Mobulidae. Unfortunately, this family might be at serious risk as a result of overfishing for traditional Chinese medicine purposes. Rays have gill plates that allow them to strain zooplankton from the surrounding seawater as they swim. You can often see them doing barrel rolls in order to do this. However, these gill plates are sold by vendors, advertised as treatment for anything from common ailments to cancer. This is putting the mobulid family in serious threat of becoming endangered.
Traditional Chinese medicine, also known as TCM, originated about 5,000 years ago and became a very common form of alternative medicine in Eastern Asia. The use of gill plates as a remedy first appeared in TCM literature in 1976, but the trade did not become widespread until the 1990s. Gill plates are very expensive, typically costing around $100 per pound, so the expansion of this trade can potentially be explained by the increased wealth in China. However, its popularity also coincided with China's air pollution crisis. Because vendors proclaimed that gill plates improved respiratory health, this remedy had a lot of draw for Chinese citizens. In addition, internet advertisements emphasized the purity of these gill plates and therefore exploited the Eastern belief that pharmaceutical drugs contain toxic components. Guangzhou, China has almost a complete monopoly on the trade, making up to 99.5% of the total market. However, other common source locations for gill plates include Indonesia, Vietnam, Sri Lanka, and India.
This remedy is prepared as a soup that includes dried gill plates, medicinal plants, and other meats such as dried seahorse. Some of the commonly cited medicinal uses for ray gill plates range from improving general health maintenance, promotion of respiratory health, curing or treating coughs, chickenpox, inflammation, and even cancers of the lymph nodes. Some sources even claim that it improves lactation in mothers. Vendors essentially claim that gill plates are a cure-all for any ailment, despite the fact that many of these uses are not documented in any TCM literature. However, very few TCM doctors believe that this treatment is effective. In fact, 92% of consumers did not hear about this treatment from a doctor, but instead discovered it by word of mouth of friends and family, and then obtained it over the counter.
Not only is this treatment rarely considered to be effective, it can actually be medically harmful. Consumption of these products often leads to a risk of heavy metal accumulation. For example, some gill plate samples have been tested and contain 20 times the recommended amount of arsenic. However, the biggest issue with this trade is its impact on ray populations. Because rays are K-selected species, they are extremely vulnerable to overfishing, bycatch, and exploitation by humans. In Indonesia, for example, the amount of mobulids harvested at sea has decreased by 75 to 95% despite targeted efforts. This decrease indicates that there has been a decline in mobulid populations in this area. Some manta species have been classified by the IUCN as globally vulnerable. However, there is a lack of reporting of fisheries data and trade data, and this makes it hard to determine the severity of the problem.
In order to guide conservation efforts, the deficiency of data needs to be addressed and reformed. For example, the implementation of uniform import and export codes on gill plates and the investigation of fisheries in source countries would improve this lack of data. Most source countries do not have any laws in place that monitor the trade, so the enactment of such legislation could reduce this trade. For example, the Save the Mantis campaign is attempting to encourage China towards banning the gill trade. This organization employs tactics such as using celebrities in advertisements to explain the impact this trade has on endangered wildlife. This allows the public to be better educated on the subject. With the combination of improved data collection and the collaboration between conservation organizations and the source countries, huge strides can be made towards restoring the ray populations to healthy levels.